The gunsmith operating in the town of Rhodes has perhaps one of the saddest stories in the game. And we begin this story after a man calls out for help from the basement of the gunsmith.
No! Please don't go!
Why are you dressed up like that? I've seen some sick perversions in my time. This one might take the prize.
No, wait, please. You gotta help me. It's that crazy gunsmith. He made me dress up like this. He's got me chained to the goddamn bed.
Heading inside, we can antagonize the gunsmith and force him to take us to the man he's held captive.
I want to see what's in that basement of yours. Show me. Right now.
Nothing no worse down there, I swear.
Why don't I be the judge of that? Open it now!
All right, all right. Ain't got nothing to hide. I got my boy sleeping down there. It's such a shame to wake him. You know, you can always come back after he wakes up.
You just stay away from me.
Know what I tell you about talking to your pa that way?
Oh, thank God.
You can deal with this situation a number of ways, all with varying outcomes. If you choose to kill the gunsmith immediately upon entering the store, doing so results in the loss of honor, and the basement becomes inaccessible.
You know, forget about it.
Whoa now, that's a fool.
Alternatively, you can also kill the captive immediately upon meeting him. Doing this results in a loss of honor, and causes the gunsmith to lock up shop. Upon discovering the captive and making the gunsmith reveal him, you can kill them both. The captive causes a loss of honor, while the gunsmith has no effect.
You know, you can always come back after...
Who's there? Oh, thank you! That sick son of a bitch kidnapped me! Made me pretend to be his...
Oddly enough, if you kill the captive and spare the gunsmith, he'll have a unique reaction, falling to the floor and crying over the loss of his son.
The chains! Shoot the chains!
What have you done? Not again.
The final way of dealing with this situation, and presumably the canon way, is to do the mission as normal, and upon entering the basement, free the captive, releasing him and leaving the gunsmith alive.
Don't shoot me, please. Just leave us be.
Why are you wearing that sailor suit?
That crazy maniac put me in it! He thinks I'm his kid's son! Kidnapped me, he did! Do I look like a kid?
Always in such a rush to grow up these days, aren't they?
Just what the hell is going on here?
He was being a bad little boy, stealing candy from the store again. It's for his own good.
I'm not your little boy, you mad son of a bitch! No, the chains! Shoot the chains! Oh, finally! Thank you. Thank you. Oh, you sick
I'm sorry.
son of a...
Please forgive me. I know it was wrong. I just couldn't face that he was gone. I was teaching Sammy how to hold the rifle proper out by the river.
The recoil shot him backwards.
He slipped into the river. The water pulled him downstream so quick. It all happened so fast, I didn't know what to do.
I searched up and down that riverbank for days.
But I couldn't find my boy. I just miss him so much.
And you!
You remind me of him.
You look just like him.
I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
It's too late for apologies. You just count yourself lucky that I don't kill you for what you did.
Don't know what else you want from me. Take what you want. I don't care anymore.
After completing this unmarked encounter, we learn the Rhodes Gunsmith lost his son. While on a hunting trip, the boy fired his rifle, and the recoil sent him back into the river. The gunsmith searched for days, but a body never turned up. It caused him to go insane, to the point of keeping a man who he believed to resemble his son as a slave. Before moving on to the morality of it all, we'll go over the loot and some of the items found in the basement. Across from the crying gunsmith, we can find a Lancaster repeater. Taking this won't affect your honor, and it's an easy way to obtain this weapon. Right beside the Lancaster repeater, we can find a lockbox containing a small amount of loot. Looting the gunsmith, we can find Son's drawing, a sketch of the boy and his father fishing. On the wall, right underneath a small chair and a bicycle, presumably belonging to the boy, we can see a small photograph of a child. No doubt this is the man's son. On the wall where the man was chained, we can find tallies, counting up to the number 35, meaning this man was here for over a month. At the end of the room, just above the bed, are 3 photographs. One of the same boy, this photo being a lot clearer to see, and a photo of a woman and a man. And finally, heading back upstairs, we can see a photo of the much younger gunsmith with his son. In the end of the day, the Rhodes Gunsmith is a sick, troubled old man. He suffered pain that no parent would ever want to experience, and that pain caused him to break. Whether or not he actually believed this man was his son is unknown. It seemed as though he was trying to convince himself of it, forcing his captive to play the part. But upon the man's release, realized there was no use, and that it was time to accept it. And if it wasn't clear enough that this man's crimes are a result of going crazy after losing his son, Rockstar went as far as to not affect your honor if you kill him upon finding the slave, meaning that there was no right or wrong way to deal with him, unlike if you killed him before finding the slave. This is everything we know about the Rhodes Gunsmith in Red Dead Redemption 2. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you back here again with more Red Dead Redemption lore. Are you looking for a new horror novel to sink your teeth into? My novel When Was follows a man named John Miller and tells his story as he navigates a world ruled by the dead. Finally forced to live, throughout this story John meets man-eating men, militaristic psychopaths, a silver-tongued madman, and death himself. And out of those few antagonists mentioned, none are as evil as the flesh-eating monsters plaguing the earth. When Was is available on Amazon.com for under $9.99. Over 30 chapters, over 500 pages, at an extraordinarily low price. You can check out part 1 of the When Was series using any of the links below, and when you're on the store page, click on the preview and you can read some for free. But before you go, who are you acquainted with?